Hey everybody, Massachusetts Prepper here. Well, today I'm finally doing the wrap up on all the fitness trackers that I've been doing as of late. You know, we've seen the Apple Watch, we've seen the Fitbit Blaze, the Fitbit Charge, and now we're going to take a look at the Fitbit Alta. Now the Alta is the latest release from Fitbit, and you know it's at the lower end of their price range at only $129.99, so it's a pretty much affordable fitness tracker with a lot of features. We're going to take and get into this, and I have already opened it and I do have it on my wrist, and as you can see, as soon as I brought my wrist up, the time showed up with the month and day, so that's a nice little feature. But I'm going to show y'all what we get in the box, and Fitbit has kind of gone with this new box type, you know, with the magnetic closures, just a little bit more sophisticated box. Now the fitness tracker goes right here, and of course you get your pamphlet with, you know, all your information on the fitness tracker, and then you get the box, and in the box they've got a different type of charging system. It's still USB, but it's more like a lady's hair clip type contraption here that clamps right onto the Fitbit, and I'll show you that here in just a few minutes. Now, what all does this fitness tracker do? The Fitbit Alta helps keep you motivated because it tracks your steps, your distance, your calories burned, and your active minutes. Now, what we don't get on this fitness tracker is the number of floors you've climbed, okay, so it doesn't track elevation. It does measure exercises like track running, cardio, and more. So with this fitness tracker, it will automatically log your exercises. If you're running, you're doing cardio, you're doing an elliptical, riding a bike, you know, anything like that. After 15 minutes, this will recognize that you're doing one of those activities and log it automatically to your dashboard, which is pretty cool. Now it is customizable because you can interchange the bands, and I'll show y'all how that works in just a minute as well. So it automatically tracks your sleep. So gone are the days where you had to actually set it into sleep mode like you did with some of the other older fitness trackers. This will automatically recognize when you're sleeping as well. Now it lets you stay connected because it will give you notifications like caller ID and the time and date and things like that. It syncs wirelessly to ISO, Android, and Windows, Mac, and PC computers. This is a pretty good fitness tracker for the most part. It is kind of stylish. It's kind of sleek. And as you see, the time popped up there. We tap it. There's my steps for the day, the miles I've traveled, my calories burned, and my active minutes. And then we're back to the time and month with day. Now, just a simple tap on the band, a little jar activates it to cycle through. Now, one thing that I want to show you is when you get to the steps, the bar right there, that shows you that you've completed your step goal for the day. That's kind of a neat feature. What I do like about this band is it's kind of slim, so it's, you know, less obtrusive when you're looking at it. But there's one thing I don't like, and this kind of irritated me when I took it out of the box. Now it tells you that the bands are interchangeable, and that's great. But the way you undo these bands is with these little clips right here. You depress those and the bands just slide off. Now when I got this brand new in the box, there was no wiggle. You see how the band is wiggling? Well, it's wiggling because when you depress these and it slides right off, it sits on top of these rockers. But when you put this back on, like I said, out of the box it was nice and tight. As soon as you take it off for the first time, then you got all this slop. And it probably doesn't affect this fitness tracker at all. It just, I found it a little bit irritating that it would be so loose. Now, one thing I've noticed about this is it's got the same type of construction where the rubber is attached right on to the metal piece. Now, me personally, I think that's going to be a problem. I think we're going to have another band failure. I'm sure these bands are a lot less expensive as replacing the whole Fitbit charge. But I think that these will probably come away, the bands will start wearing away, and you will have a loose fit. Now, like I told you, this charging port, as you can see, there's little contacts right there. Those little contacts match up with the contacts on here, and it just clips on. Then you plug it into your computer, and you're good to go, charging away. I had zero issues setting this up. For those of you that have watched my Fitbit Blaze video, you know there was problems right out of the box trying to get that thing to set up. It wouldn't, the computer wouldn't recognize it, and the Mac wouldn't recognize it. So I ended up having to set it up on my phone. This, I was able to set it up on my PC. I then set it up on my Mac, and then I changed it one more time and set it up using my phone. So all three methods worked perfectly fine. One other thing about this is it is water resistant. For anyone that has the Aria Wi-Fi smart scales, which I do, this does work with those, so you can still track your weight. So all the information is synced wirelessly right to your dashboard on Fitbit.com. Overall, I really like the way this looks. Of course, it does say that it's made in China, and I don't think this is nickel. I may be wrong, but I don't think it's nickel. I think it's aluminum, so there shouldn't be any allergic reactions. I'm allergic to nickel, and I think after wearing it for a couple of days, if it was nickel, I would be severely broke out in a rash, and as you can see, there's no rash anywhere on my arm. So I don't believe this is nickel. I think this is a fine offering from Fitbit. Hopefully they have, addressed the issues with the band coming apart. On the charge, it came apart. The rubber separated from the plastic housing, and that made it a real mess, and they were replacing a lot of these Fitbit charges. So I hope that there is not that problem with this metal piece here separating from the plastic band. This does fit back on loose after you take it off for the very first time. It locks securely, it's not coming back off, but it's just got that little bit of wiggle, which kind of bugs me. It doesn't wiggle when it's on your arm, so it's probably going to be perfectly fine. One thing I will tell you is the snap, until you get a couple of holes broken in so this fit where it fits on your arm, you're going to have a major pain putting this thing on. It does snap hard. Even with it, off, it takes a lot of pressure to get it to line back up. It shouldn't pull off. You should have no trouble with it coming off whatsoever. And with being able to change the bands, that's a huge plus. So all in all, I think the Fitbit Alta is a very nice and sleek looking fitness tracker, and another option for those who don't want to pay the high dollar value for the Fitbit Blaze. Maybe the Fitbit Alta with fewer features than the Blaze, or the Fitbit Charge even, is the one for you. Like I said, it's missing the floors climbed. Now I will add, Fitbit.com is stating that the battery life is right around 5 days with this fitness tracker, which is an improvement over the Blaze. I never got 5 days with the Blaze. The most that I got was 4. So that should be an improvement in battery life as well. Still a little bit better than some of the other fitness trackers out there, but not quite as good as something like the old Fitbit Force, which was getting 7 to 9 days of battery life. New technology maybe? Taking up more resources? Absolutely. Still a fine offering from Fitbit. Will you survive whatever comes your way? I sure hope so. This is the Massachusetts Prepper saying, take care all. Now if you have a compatible smartphone, you can also set it up so you can control your music from the device, and also any incoming text, I'll get a notification of the text, and phone calls, who's calling. When you're using